When the Baltic MR01 first came out, I didn't buy it, but FOMO quickly got the best of me. I know I've spoke multiple times about not being victim to hype watches, but I'm a walking contradiction. When Baltic sent me an email letting me know about the second drop, I bought one immediately. It took almost a year to get to me, and well, I've owned it for a little over a month, and I haven't worn it, I haven't sized the bracelet, and I listed the watch on eBay. But before I tell you why I'm selling it, let's talk about the watch. The Baltic MR01 is a vintage-inspired mechanical watch produced by Baltic Watches, a French watch brand that was founded in 2017. The MR01 features a 316L stainless steel case that has a mixture of brushing and polishing. I really don't like the polished bezel. I would have preferred a brush bezel or a mix of brushing and polishing. There's just something about the surface that looks very flat and doesn't match the dial. The case measures in at 36mm, it's 44mm from lug to lug, thickness 9.9mm, and it has a lug width of 20mm. The proportions are spot on for my 6 7/8 inch wrist, that's 17.43 centimeters. It really feels like I'm wearing a vintage dress watch, so no complaints there. The water resistance is terrible, it's only 30 meters. There's no way this could be a daily worn watch for me, not to mention that Baltic is using a high dome Hesalite crystal. I mean, I do love my Omega Speedmaster and that has a Hesalite crystal, but for whatever reason it bothers me on the Baltic and I really would have preferred a sapphire crystal. One of the standout features of the Baltic MR01 is the dial, which is available in several different colors. I'm a sucker for salmon dials, so that's the one that I picked and the standout for me. The dial has a clean minimalistic design with applied Breguet style numerals. At the 7 o'clock position we do find a second sub-dial. Most vintage watches feature that sub-dial, but they have it at the 6 o'clock. But Baltic had no choice as the movement has the running seconds off-centered. I reviewed the Sola Starlight that featured the same movement and the second sub-dial was off-centered as well. The leaf style hands also are designed to be easy to read and of course give off that vintage aesthetic. Overall the dial is incredible and the texture is executed very nice. I opted for the $60 Beats of Rice bracelet upgrade and I'm glad I did. I mean, the bracelet is okay and it does feature a quick release system and a male clasp with the Baltic logo engraved on it, but it just doesn't feel premium. With the bracelet, the watch looks and feels more substantial. I would highly recommend you pay the premium. However, I do have to say that this watch looks incredible on leather straps. Shout out to my friends over at Vario. They make some great affordable leather straps that really punch above their price point. I really wish I would have tried this watch on a NATO, a rubber, sailcloth, but honestly, I didn't want to scratch the lug since I'm selling the watch. Now when you flip the watch over, there's a big display case back showing off the automatic Hansho caliber 5008 micro rotor movement. This, in my opinion, is one of the cool features of this watch. We all know micro rotor movements are very expensive, so getting one at sub $1,000 is actually nuts. The movement can be hand wound, features 42 hours of power reserve. The finishing is actually beautiful, looks more expensive than what it is and it looks like a high-end Swiss movement. However, is the movement reliable? I'm really not sure and I don't want to find out. What I do know is that Baltic offers a 2-year warranty on this watch. Look, overall the Baltic MR01 is beautiful, there's no doubt about it, but for about the same amount of money, you need to look around, you can find a Universal Genève pull router. Of course, we all know those watches were designed by Mr. Gerald Denta and feature micro rotor movements. I get it, this watch looks expensive, but it's affordable. It features a micro rotor movement, it's produced by a hip French brand, and all the hype watch publications continue to praise it. However, the watch in hand feels delicate, and I'm not sure how the movement will hold up in the long run, and I can almost guarantee the bezel's a scratch magnet and the crystal will have to be polished constantly. I know I sound like a watch snob, but if you have watched my videos, you know I never, ever bash watches, and humility is very important to me. What I can tell you is that the hype around this watch is what killed it for me. I was expecting an amazing watch, and what I got, well, was not that. The watch appears to be well made, but doesn't live up to the hype. I do feel bad because Baltic reached out to me after I posted some of the pictures of this watch on Instagram and offered to let me borrow some watches for review. I hope this video doesn't tarnish my relationship with them, but transparency is key and you guys deserve to know how I really feel. Thank you all so much for the support. We're on our way to 15,000 subscribers, so don't forget to subscribe. I got some really cool videos on the way. Be safe out there and always stay humble.